Welcome to another episode of another motherfucking podcast. It's your host and soon-to-be favorite rapper, Saved by Paris. And today's episode is spooky. We're going to be talking horror today as well as Halloween costumes, what to wear and what not to wear. But first, allow me to introduce my guest. Returning to the podcast, fellow bass rap extraordinaire, Turt Le Fro. Say what's up to the people, Mikhail.
What up?
For Halloween this year, can you please dress up as a dish remote?
Hey. Oh shit! I realized I was gonna be Master Roshi, but I got to be at work anyway.
We could dress up at work.
Oh dang!
As long as it's not sexy, unless they change the rules.
Oh,
Yeah, no sexy, no tight clothes or whatever we got, so we don't really know.
I got 2 days before I could be Master Roshi.
And we can shave you during the podcast. You shave your head. Just glue the rest of that onto your mustache and beard.
Fuck.
And the person that you're hearing to my left, join us on the podcast for the first time. He's the whitest white kid I know. Please allow me to introduce Ian Tomas. Say what's up to the people.
What's up?
So, Patrick tells me you're a horror extraordinaire.
I am.
Dabble in some shit.
I've been in this since I was a kid when I was not allowed to watch this shit.
Okay.
Me and my brother, younger brother, we were always watching shit we were not allowed to watch.
Well, we're going to see how much of an expert you are in today's episode. But before we hop into the podcast, remember to rate the show 5 stars on Apple Podcasts if you fuck with your boy. I also want to give a shout out once again to my friends Troy and Journey over at Frequently Unanswered Podcast. If you're looking for other podcasts to check out, I definitely recommend these two. They have all the answers to any of your conundrums. You can check them out on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, or head on over to their Instagram at FrequentlyPod. If you're listening on YouTube, I'll leave a link in the description. Now, without further ado, today we're talking about horror icons. Halloween's right around the corner, and if you're looking for horror films to check out, we got you covered. First, I want to get everyone's opinions on who they think to be the most iconic horror icon of all time. Starting with the expert in horror, Ian Tomas.
Iconic horror icon. That would have to be Dracula, vampires, especially Bela Lugosi. I mean, for movie criteria, but it can go all the way back to Bram Stoker's book, Dracula. Because at the time, that was quite controversial. Because back in the day, you know, they might have Penny Dreadful books and such, but anything that talked with penetration in any way, shape, or form, they were very prudish back in the day. But this allowed for penetration without sex. Biting the neck to ingest the blood.
Bruh, I didn't even think of Dracula. Oh my god, that's a good pick.
Yeah, that's the boy. Castlevania, boy. Dracula's pretty good. Dracula's broken, bro, but a lot of people don't take into account because it was like, he's just the first vampire.
Yeah.
But no, he's pretty.
What
pretty
about
dope character.
What about for you? Who do you think to be the most iconic? Before we get into favorites and runner-ups and all that stuff, you gotta be the most iconic.
Most iconic, I guess, when you say that, probably in my opinion, would be Freddy Krueger, because a lot of like different like scary movies now will take from that concept where like it's in your mind or whatever and stuff like that. So a lot of the times I feel like they're taking from that franchise rather than like say with like Jason. I like Jason a lot more than Freddy Krueger, but I can see Freddy Krueger being a lot more influential to other scary movies nowadays anyway.
I have Freddy Krueger in my runner-ups. He's I put that he's like disgusting to look at. His disfigured body is what nightmares are made of. And he invades your dreams with psychological warfare. For all time though, man, you can't have Halloween without Michael Myers.
That's true.
He helped build the slasher subgenre into what it is today. Massive build, doesn't say a single fucking word, and hard to fucking kill. Badass.
You know, I'm about to say he don't say no words. I like the Rob Zombie adaptation. I haven't seen any of the other ones. I've only seen the original adaptation by Rob Zombie. It was good.
Now, can I say, I respect your opinion on that.
Yeah.
I've seen the original Halloweens, like up to 2 and 3, And then I saw the remake, because after 2 and 3, there are some weird ones, like they had H2O, where they had like, I want to say Ludacris or somebody was in it. They got really weird. They had H2O, Halloween Resurrection. They may have brought Jamie Lee Curtis back into it, since day one she was in it.
Yeah.
I liked the very first Rob Zombie, because I was like, okay, I haven't seen anybody reboot Halloween in ever. So I was like, okay. Well, the second one, I was like, he was just doing shit to do shit. Like, he went over the top on some. I know it's Rob Zombie, but he was just doing, like I said, just doing shit to do shit. It's like, you need to pump your brakes hard, buddy, because this is.
Yeah.
You're going to an nth degree that we don't need to hit on.
Has the story for Michael Myers, like, it's changed a couple times, hasn't it? Like, he went from being immortal to not immortal, or.
It's varied. That's why I like this new reboot that they did, where Jamie Lee Curtis came back as Laurie Strode, the one Michael Myers came after. See, it's kind of changed up over the decades. Because at one time, there was a very little known that is not part of canon anymore because of this new reboot called Halloween 3 Season of the Witch.
Mm-hmm.
And they allude to him being part of this ancient pagan ceremony, where part of the ceremony was they chose a child to go kill, and it would kill all his family, and it ended up being part of Samhain. That's where Halloween comes from. And it would bring great crops and such throughout the year. Till they had to do it again. But that's why he has never been able to quit, because he's never gotten his sister, or in some cases his niece, that little girl from 2 and 4 and 5 and such.
Is that motherfucker autistic?
And the Rob Zombie one, yeah. But in the original, no. I think he's just as I can't remember the actor's name. The one who played the original psychiatrist for him, he's just pure evil. Yeah. And that's what is fascinating, because there are people like that today. Yep. Pure evil that...
No explanation, just...
I mean, they may not have a abusive childhood. They may have had great parents. They may have had loving siblings. But just something in them went wrong.
When I think of pure evil, I think of the most recent, that one dude who killed his kids, and the Chris Watts, Michael Watts, what is his name?
I think so. I don't know, but there's a lot of really fucked up shit going on out there.
Yeah, as you get older, you realize just how fucking shitty the world really is. Yeah. So that was my all-time with Michael Myers, Ian Tumans with Dracula, and Turt Le Fro with Freddy Krueger. Yeah. Recently, I would have to put Pennywise up there. I would say for the new gen, Pennywise seems to be like...
New gen, yes. I'll give you that one, because the Tim Curry one, he was scary. he was scary, but this new Pennywise, that was really fucked up. Like waving hand back at some random stranger with some kid's arm he's just eating. I'm like, well, I wasn't expecting that shit.
I haven't even seen the new Pennywises. I've seen like scenes on YouTube and shit. That shit, boy.
That's why I ain't watching it. I ain't got time for it.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a big horror expert, so I did a little bit of research, and apparently he's a fucking demon. I didn't know that.
No.
No,
not a demon. He's a extraterrestrial being.
I'm about to say he's an alien.
Yeah, like the original OG Tim Curry, and this new one, he is a alien. Extra dimensional being.
I guess he just took that form. That was probably the first thing he seen was the clown.
A clown, yeah. And clowns are already fucking scary.
Yeah. I mean, a world devourer is what they called him at one point. In both movies, he's a world devourer. Almost.
See, I can see that because I did some research, and I got his like total kill count. So like in the films, it's 35 in the film, 600 in the novel. But they did a consistent ratio of death per capita every 27 years dating back to the colonial era.
Colonial.
Yeah, colonial. And they said 18,000. And most of those are probably children. He's a fucking pedophile.
Exactly.
Man, preying on children.
Freddy 2.0.
Do you guys have any selections for recent
horror icons? It's not necessarily an icon, but like the Conjuring series.
Oh, that's fine. The first one. Yeah, that first.
Like, I'm not going to give too much bearing into like the Annabelle and everything, because that does go along with it, and the Nun. But all that's one giant story intertwined together, like
a big ass universe.
That's where I really respect the Warrens, Ed and Lorraine Warren, where they said the ghosts aren't necessarily real. I know it's going to be later on the podcast, but demons are real. Angels are real. It depends on who you follow is what comes after you, basically, for lack of a better term.
I don't really watch much horror, so I've never seen The Conjuring. Mikhail knows. I fucking jump at everything.
Hey, jump, man.
I will say my favorite horror icon, and I'll get your favorites too, but like I said, I'm Jump Man. I'm scared of shit. I've always been attracted to like Ghostface. He's fucking hilarious. He or she, and you know, got the iconic phone calls before the murder. So the what's your favorite scary movie? You hang up on me again, and I'll gut you like a fish. And I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to kill you. Like, that shit is fire. And with Ghostface, like I said, he or she, there's been multiple people who have donned the mask throughout the years. So you had Matthew Lillard. Okay, the Shaggy. Mm-hmm. He donned the mask in Scream 1, and then
him and that other guy did.
Yeah, the Billy dude.
Yeah,
I can't think of his the actor's name.
But it was
Skeet Ulrich.
Skeet Ulrich, bro.
Bro,
can I tell you, I've seen some of the Screams. I'm just not a huge fan of them, because here's the thing: if I know there's a serial killer running around town, I don't care if I have my concealed carry or not. I'm packing heat.
I'm surprised nobody shot him.
Yeah, because they're human. Like
I'm gonna tell the sheriff, "Fuck you! I'm carrying my Glock with me."
Was the sheriff one in one of the?
I've not seen him after the first one. I was just like, this is terrible.
The first one was on with like a stomach, and after that, I just seen him come on cable TV. Literally. Yeah, on MTV and all that.
See, I remember watching Scream 1. I might have seen part of 2, but I really only saw 1 and 4. I was a real big fan of, I think, Emma Roberts was the Scream in Scream 4. But I really got into like the TV shows of Scream that were on MTV, which even though they weren't the best, like, it was a binge-worthy show. The weirdest one playing as Ghostface was Jamal in season 3, which is played by the Young Money rapper Tyga.
Really? I didn't know that.
But he wasn't pure evil. He did it. He had suspicions that. So I'm gonna give spoilers, I guess. But in season 3 of Scream, it was 2 twins in the beginning, and one of them was killed. But the other one pretended to be the one that was killed. So it was like already a fucked up storyline. But Tyga, who was their brother, knew. So he kind of put the mask on because he wanted to kill his twin brother who pretended to be the other brother. But he wasn't pure evil. He was actually being played by some other girl. I don't know her fucking name. But total, there was like 12 people throughout the whole franchise. But that's who my favorite would be. Ian Tomas, what would your favorite horror icon be?
That's gonna be hard because it comes up to like you said earlier, Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees, unstoppable evil,
Yeah,
silent evil. Because yes, we know why Jason is doing it. He's doing it for vengeance. Especially they let him die, then they killed his mom. Just because they want to get some dick, or some ass and whatnot. Depending what case it is. That's rule number one in the horror. Rule number one in the horror movies: don't have sex. If you're a virgin, you're gonna live most of the time.
Don't get no booty, bro.
Don't be black. Don't be black. Black guy always dies.
Yeah, don't be the token black guy. But then Michael Myers is the same way because he silent. These people are running. They're out of breath, and he's just walking up on them like, not having to catch his breath. He's just right there, and he's ready to.
Every turn you go, the motherfuckers are there.
He's right there watching you, and you never know. Oh shit! Did I really see him, or is this all on my mind?
Michael seems to be more like aware than Jason. Jason seems to just be on the warpath.
He is.
Doesn't give a fuck.
I kind of liked the new reboot that they did with one of the guys that was from Supernatural, where he was actually more human.
Jason?
Yes. Friday the 13th, where he was more human. Because he actually had like an alarm system basically set up throughout Camp Crystal Lake. It wasn't like a real alarm system, like you accidentally hit a tripwire. There's an underground network he built of tunnels, and a bell goes off. He's like, oh, well, there's somebody over in the cabin.
That's interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he goes up there, and he's watching them all.
That's a better explanation than him just being there at the right time always.
Yes. That's where a lot of these movies series, they go on for too long, they get stupid. Like, I understand. I was not a fan of Jason X, where he goes.
That's what I was in space.
Yeah, I was not a huge fan of that. I was just like, because the whole
that was fucking funny to me.
That if I want to watch a horror comedy, I want to watch either the first 2 scary movies or Haunted House 1 and 2.
Damn, that's that far.
Because I had to introduce Patrick to and Sarah to Haunted House. That was hilarious. I forgot how funny that shit was. And when me and you were talking, whenever I was still working at Walmart, we were talking about, oh, Ian, scary movies on Netflix. Oh, shit. That night I went home, I watched it. I sent you snaps of the whole parrot scenes. Like, oh, best part of the whole movie.
I fucking love Haunted House, dude. The fucking, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck, Keisha. He's worried about making Ray mad.
That's a pretty good scene. Oh, God.
Like, y'all need to stop this. Well, we don't have to try as hard with other couples, Keisha. I'm talking about the Ouija board.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
They were swinging so hard, bro.
What would you say your favorite icon of all time would be, Miguel?
I don't know, but I've been intrigued by recently the Brightburn.
Haven't heard of it.
Oh, that's the bad Superman movie.
Yeah, like the little kid that like he has like almost the same powers as Superman, but like, he's like just murking everybody.
Superman grows up in an abusive childhood, basically, but it wasn't even the parents. It was, he instead of him knowing, oh, I'm super strong, I need to be good. He's like, nah, fuck that. I'm using my strength.
There you go. And he's literally fucking everybody. I haven't seen it, but I've seen the trailer for it. And
I've not seen it. I've been wanting to see it, but I just not got on my way to.
Yeah.
So he grew up like abused in a household or whatever.
It was just kind of not in the household. It's kind of like Superman. Like he got his, I won't say he got his ass beat, but he was bullied. But instead of having a good dad there to reel back his strength, say you've got to be better. Like in Man of Steel, you've got to be better than these people. Mm-hmm. You've got to do better because you could kill these people. The dad in Brightburn, from what I could tell from the previews, was kind of lackadaisical. He didn't want to be the dad because they legit found a space baby. And he don't know how to fucking handle that shit. I'm like,
who would though?
I would. I'd be like, you know what? I'm gonna be a good dad, but I'm gonna let him
piss that motherfucker off. You kill you
exactly. Like you get all the fucking allowance you want. You want candy for dinner? Like, yeah, okay. I don't give a shit. You got cavities. You don't want to go to school today? Okay, just.
Yeah, they're apparently trying to make a universe like you know how they have the MCU right now. Mm-hmm. They want to do that, but with like different like horror villains.
Now, is it horror villains or the Universal monsters? Because they wanted to do that. They tried doing that with the crappy Tom Cruise Mummy movie, but because that was such a box office flop, they're like,
this shit flopped
we cannot do this anymore.
So so the new one or the old one?
I love the original Mummy with Brendan Fraser. Till I got to the Chinese one, the Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. I was like, okay, I'm done. Mummies are. I know they're all over the world, but we need to stop now.
Yeah.
But no, the Tom Cruise Mummy, they were trying to restart the Universal monsters, or this to be appropriate, Universal horror icons, like Frankenstein, the Wolfman.
Kind of like Monster Squad, right?
Yes, I'm proud of you. I was waiting for that question to come up. Oh, what's your favorite scary movie as a kid?
Let's hop right into it. Monster Squad.
Oh my god, like that was the best movie ever. Like when I was first saw it, I was scared, but then I loved it. I made Patrick and Sarah sit down and watch it with me. They're like, "Are you serious?" Like, Wolfman's got nards. That was the best line, and that's where me and my brother learned what the term nards meant. We're like, oh,
watching shit y'all weren't supposed to be watching.
But no, my mom let us watch that.
Okay.
There was some stuff that those previews were quite deceptive.
Yeah.
So there's shit that we watched that my mom was like, oh god.
Yeah, because that one didn't they have like Playboy magazines in the clubhouse or some shit?
No, yes they did. And remember
and they were spying.
It wasn't really nude, but they were peeping Tom, and they're like, "Is she a virgin? Are you sure she's a virgin?" Well, Tom, but he doesn't count. What do you mean he doesn't count? I didn't know that shit till I was old enough. I was like, yeah, that counts.
Monster Squad was my mom's favorite, which y'all are about to. No, you're a little bit younger than her. She's like 40. You're 34. I mean, you get in there.
I was like, wow, your mom will beat your ass.
Oh, she's like 44 to be exact. But no, that was her favorite movie growing up. So she had the copy when I was like 10. So I, of course, watched it. And that was my shit, too.
I've never seen Monster Squad.
Oh, you don't know what you're missing, dude. That's on Amazon Prime.
Is it really?
It is.
I'll have to check it out.
That is by far my favorite movie of all time, and I plan on letting my kids watch it one day.
Put them on the right path.
Oh, hell yeah. Like, I love the fact that my name is Horace. I was like, very little screen time for him and the mummy.
Yeah.
But I was still like, that's amazing.
Is there a water creature, too?
Yeah, that's the creature from the Black Lagoon. That's the one that Horace took out with a 12 gauge.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
And, like, I wish, not Netflix now after the whole Cuties incident, but I wish, like, Amazon or Hulu would throw money and give me the chance to recreate Monster Squad. I would do it justice. I would love to recreate this.
There was never a sequel, was there?
No, there wasn't. And I would keep a lot of the famous lines in there, like whenever he picks that little girl up, I heard, Chin, give me the amulet, you bitch. I'm like, whoa. As a little kid, I just didn't understand the meaning behind all these words. I was just like, that's scary. Internally, I didn't know these words, but I'm like, that's scary as fuck right now.
That was like late 80s, early 90s?
Yes.
Always those type of movies were like Howard the Duck. You fucking see duck titties in one of the scenes. I was like, what the fuck?
I don't remember her name, but the chick having sex with an anthropomorphic duck. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's like, lady, you know, ducks have a spiral dick, basically, you know?
It's like some B-movie shit, having sex with bees.
And that was technically the very first Marvel movie ever.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, and it was done by, I can't remember if it was George Lucas or Steven Spielberg. They were both in on it, I'm pretty sure.
I don't remember either, off the bat. What would you say your favorite movie would be, childhood movie? It could be anything horror-related, sci-fi.
I will say, I'm sorry to interrupt, but Aliens, the second one of the series, I love that one. Like, I'm flipping through channels that comes on, ooh, I'm watching this. Somebody said, you watched that so many times, I'm like, and?
I've never watched Alien. I watched Predator, and I've seen Alien versus Predator.
I think, that'd be my childhood with Alien versus Predator. I've always loved that series. The very first Alien versus Predator when they go into the pyramid on the ground.
Yes, that was awesome.
That was pretty dope. I like that.
But y'all don't understand how long I've been waiting for that movie. I remember watching it with Danny Glover. In not the old one from Lethal Weapon. I'm too old for this shit.
Yeah, not Childish Gambino.
Yeah, he fought in Predator 2, a Predator, and he actually got onto a spaceship under the city of Manhattan, and they're in this trophy area where a bunch of different skulls, like they had human skulls, they had all these different alien skulls. Then you see a xenomorph skull.
And then that was the branch in between the two?
Yeah, that was where everybody waited almost 20-something years.
I can imagine that pop.
Like, I was a little kid. My dad let me watch this, and my mom got on to him for letting me watch it. Because he was like, I thought it was okay. No, it wasn't okay.
Yeah.
But I remember watching that. I'm like, oh, shit. They fought aliens. Okay.
Like, I've never seen, like, the Alien, like, franchise. I haven't seen
That's something to watch. I'm not going to lie. The first one, it's real slow, how it's starting out. And spoiler, there's only one alien. But the second one is where it picks up.
Is Sigourney Weaver in all of them?
Yes.
Okay.
Sigourney Weaver's in every one of them except for the Aliens versus Predator movies. And the Prometheus and...
Those are prequels, right?
Those are technically prequels, yes.
Okay.
Prometheus, and I can't remember the other one. Covenant? Yes, Covenant. They're prequels.
My guy, you are an expert.
Yeah, but yeah, on Alien vs. Predator, that was tight.
Yeah.
How because like I said, I didn't know that they were both different universes and they combined them. But to see two like almost unstoppable beasts like go head to head, and just go ham at each other, that was pretty tight. And
I was always scared of Predator.
Dude, that's I don't give a fuck. He literally only would go after anybody that's worthy. If you don't seem like you're worthy, he ain't gonna go after you.
Yeah, like females, children, unarmed. If you're not armed, you're safe because they're like, well, this isn't a worthy kill.
He's like, he ain't fuck that.
Like in the first Predator movie, he went after a special forces team led by Arnold Schwarzenegger. In the second one, he went after some cops too, but majority of them he went after gang members, drug dealers, because these are the guys running around with Tech Nines and shit.
Damn, he's kind of like an anti-hero.
Kind of, yeah. But like I said, he ended up going after police too.
Yeah.
Because what's funny is Bill Pullman is the only one to die in both Aliens franchises. And Terminator too. He died in Terminator, he died in Aliens, the second one, and he died in Predator 2.
Since you do bring up Terminator, in the comics, it was Alien versus Predator versus Terminator, right? At one point.
I'm not sure. There was Batman versus Predator. There was the Justice League versus Aliens. There was Judge Dredd versus Aliens. It was called Incubus. Like, there were a bunch of crossovers. Like, Batman's fought Swamp Thing at one time. But they are technically part of the same DCU, so.
Warner Bros. Owns all of them, don't they?
Don't get me lying to you. I don't know about there's too many damn people own too much shit. Like in Marvel, certain X-Men movies, they don't say mutants. They say superior beings or enhanced humans or Homo superior, because Sony owns certain words basically associated with X-Men, whilst Marvel and Disney own certain words now. It's really stupid. Like, at one time, Marvel tried buying back rights to Spider-Man, but Sony only kept Spider-Man because, he's the only thing that's worth it. Almost 9 Spider-Man movies. I mean, the first 3.
Talking about Toby?
Oh, shit.
They finally got it right. Kinda.
They did. I enjoyed Andrew Garfield. He was by far the best one because he's the actual
representation of what he was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tom Holland did a great job. He's done a great job. Come back. Didn't like the whole, and I agree with Patrick, Tony Stark basically made him.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't basically doing anything till Tony Stark said, "Hey, you want to join the Avengers?" Yeah.
He's like fangirling and shit.
I haven't seen any of like the actual like Spider-Man movies, but like, is he like smart like Andrew Garfield was? Okay. Yeah. I didn't know if Tom Holland was his.
Well, he is, but not as smart as Andrew Garfield. Honestly, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Because Andrew Garfield did more. Because Tony Stark basically did everything for.
Yeah.
Tom Holland.
Yeah.
That was all Tony Stark. He was smart to a certain degree, but
then he got dusted.
Yeah. But I will tell you the best. I loved the Miles Morales Into the Spider-Verse.
Dude, yeah.
I loved a movie that finally, because you don't know how many times I've tried to explain to people what the multiverse was, and they're like, and I'm like, oh sweet Jesus. And then now this movie comes out, everybody understands it. I'm like, why did you not understand it when I explained it to
iceberg.
you?
There's so many fucking Spider-Mans.
Yes.
So many fucking Deadpool and Venom and all that shit.
Yes.
Going back to favorite horror movies, so you went with Monster Squad.
As a child, yes.
And Mikkel went with Alien versus Predator, right?
Yup.
So I'm gonna go with Jeepers Creepers.
Oh,
boy. I like it the first two I liked. The very first one I ever saw was the second one. So then I went back and watched the first one. I was like, okay. I tried watching the third one because they were like, oh, hey, it gives more of the storyline. It didn't give me shit.
Fuck the third one.
I watched it. They're like, hey, they're going to give you the story. I'm like, okay. And I'm watching it. I'm like, this don't tell me fucking shit about it.
That's the 2017 one, right?
I'm not going to lie. I think they're not 4 now? Even if they're straight to Sci-Fi Channel?
I don't know. I remember, first of all, like the director is...
Yeah, I seen 2 first.
I saw that in theaters and I loved it. I was like, what the hell?
The first two. They scared the shit out of me. Just how he looked, him fucking feeding on prey, or preying on fear, shall I say. That shit spooked me.
Hey, bro, every bus trip I was scared on the ride. I promise you, bro.
Oh, God. Because these were like, so... In horror, you always think, like, children are, like, off limits. Like, not in fucking Jeepers Creepers.
You know, I'm just sorry. Just talking about villains for a second. I went to a Comic-Con up in Northwest Arkansas, and I got to meet a guy named Vernon Wells. He was one of the epitome of 80s villains. He was in Commando with Arnold Schwarzenegger. He was in Mad Max Fury... Not the new Fury Road, but the original one with Mel Gibson. He's one of the baddest guys of the 80s. And I was in the Q&A with him, and he said that he really enjoyed being a bad guy. And people were like, why? He's like, because you know what he's going to do. If a hero goes and does something against the formula, you are weirded out forever by it. If you're a bad guy, there's nothing off limits for them.
I feel
I was like, nah.
I dig that.
That's dang, okay.
I say recently, Get Out. Have y'all
Yes.
Get
Out? I enjoyed Get Out.
I would say Get Out is probably my favorite movie just in general of all time, but like it would fall under the horror category, so definitely my favorite horror movie. And it's something I can see, like, as crazy as it is, I can see it actually happen in real life.
Yeah, I can see that.
Them racist white folks.
Hey man, the psychology is this crazy thing, and they're out there hypnotizing the fuck out of them. So hypnosis, man.
Man, yeah.
It's real.
Yeah, we had a hypnosis on campus, and Maddie wouldn't let me do it because they were the people he hypnotized. They get on stage and they were acting a fucking fool. But he would like snap his finger, and then as soon as he did, like people in the audience, like even someone who's not too far about me, they slump just, and then he wakes them back up and they come on stage. And
I just never understood. I went to one of those shows at my college back in the day when I went, and I didn't understand the concept behind it. I'm like, how do you?
Yeah. You've talked about wanting to be hypnotized before.
But like I would want to see like the mechanics behind being hypnotized, because I mean, like I don't get how like you could just tell someone to do something and they just do that shit.
See, in some movies they say you can't make somebody do what they don't want to do. It's more of a unleashing inhibitors on them. Mm-hmm. That's what I've been told too. That it's more of a, you can't force anybody to do what they don't want to do.
One of my friends was hypnotized, and he said like he said he didn't remember shit, and I got like videos of him like he was doing some gay shit on stage. Like he grabbed the hypnosis ass and shit, like, and he said he don't remember none of that. But then I had like, there was a girl up there, and she said she kind of knew what she was doing, but it was like she was aware, but at the same time like she couldn't control herself to a degree. Some of them, they wake up when they don't want to do something they really don't want to do. I don't know, it's fucking spooky. So earlier we talked about Alien versus Predator, and I don't think we talked about Freddy versus Jason, but these are some of the crossovers we've seen before in horror films. What are some crossovers that you think, that you have either fantasized or that you think would be a great matchup? Horror. Open-ended question, anything horror. What would you like to see pitted against each other? Because for me, I've always wanted to see Chucky versus Leprechaun.
That'd be fucking awesome.
Fucking funny.
Like, definitely. I'm
not a big
Chucky,
fan of
bro.
the new Chucky though. It was just a bad AI is what it was. I went to theaters and I saw that. Like the original one, it was a lot of voodoo put into that, more supernatural versus AI went wrong. I was like, I mean, that's the thing that can happen today. Honestly, but
that's not what makes Chucky Chucky. Like I haven't seen the new one.
He's more human than artificial.
Yeah. And then I didn't. The last Chucky I saw that I really didn't care for was the one with Redman in it.
The last Chucky one I saw was where him and Jennifer Tilly had a kid.
Yeah,
Child's Play, right?
Yeah, no, See the Chucky.
See the Chucky. Yeah. That was the last one most recent one I've seen.
That might be
besides the newest one.
I think that might be the one. Because I do remember him being in that movie.
Redman?
Yeah, Redman was in that movie. I didn't think it was too bad. Like I said, I've seen.
It wasn't the originals.
Yeah, I was about to say I've seen some of the original, but the one I remember vividly watching was the See the Chucky when they were fucking kidnapped him.
Yeah, she went to the kid.
Yeah, that was weird to me. And then. Like, the cliffhanger at the end was really weird.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense to me, because, like, I was like, did they transfer to human bodies again? And Chucky was still a doll, or whatever? It threw me off. But it was cool, though.
Yeah. And then Leprechaun, I've always loved that series, because...
That was a good series.
Like I said, I'm Jumpman, I'm scared. Like, Leprechaun was funny as fuck. He just wanted his gold. Don't touch that nigga gold. So I could see them. I could really see them teaming up more than going up against each other. Maybe in the beginning, but
unless Chucky's just being greedy and wanting gold. Yeah,
Leprechaun not going.
Oh God, it's gold, man. I can buy all the hookies with these.
What's a matchup you guys would think would be interesting?
I've got two.
Okay.
The first one that I've wanted to see because of Freddy vs. Jason. I like that movie. People talk trash about it, but I enjoyed it for what it was.
It was fire. It was.
I would love to see a Michael Myers versus Jason.
Fuck yes, I got that in my notes too.
Silent killers, the only ones talking to the victims.
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis come back as Laurie Strode, and then
it would be kind of like Freddy versus Jason, where all the victims just get the fuck out the way.
Yeah.
Let these two go at it, but
it's like watching Godzilla versus King Kong or another kaiju.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, hold up, I'm backing up out of this.
Let's let this happen.
Who would you think would win that?
That's hard. They're both have superhuman strength.
Yeah.
They both have.
One's more remorseful than the other, though, right?
I mean,
can you fucking kill Jason? I've never seen that motherfucker die. He I've seen a blade go through him, and he's still.
It depends on which movie you're looking at too.
True.
Because he fell on in Jason X. He fell on a giant fucking spire. No, he didn't. No, that was another one. He was frozen, then reanimated by nanites. So
Yeah.
That was Jason X. Yeah.
But he was in the newest Friday the 13th. He was thrown into a fucking wood chipper.
Oh, okay, and he was killed.
Yeah. Well, they haven't done it Friday the 13th too yet. Yeah. So as far as I know.
Okay, so I guess it does depend on which iteration you're going off of. Let's say both of them at their peak can't fucking die. Don't say a word. One's mentally autistic. The other one's just a killer, a savage. It'd be a good matchup.
It'd be hard because it's like, do we just build a giant fucking cage around them?
Both of them just let them fucking duke it out.
See, that's why I liked in the newest Halloween. They were locked up in a mental asylum for the criminally insane, and they had to take extreme measures. Because remember, there's a scene where he's basically chained up to this pyramid out in the yard, basically, and there's a big square around him, basically saying he can reach this far.
Yeah.
Don't come in this square.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it.
This is the most recent one, right?
The most recent one, yes.
I haven't seen any new either Halloween or Friday the 13th or anything.
The newest Halloween is good. They're actually going to be making a sequel. I'm sure it's going to be coming out next year because of all the COVID stuff going on. Because everything's been put on hold.
Fucking COVID.
But I feel Freddy versus Michael Myers, or not Freddy, Michael Myers versus Jason. And then honestly, I would love to see just almost like a Monster Squad reboot, but that's a third one. I apologize, but I would love to see a Universal Monster Royal Rumble,
like a Smash Bros. With monsters.
Basically, a vampire, not necessarily Dracula, but vampire versus werewolf versus Creature from the Black Lagoon versus Frankenstein. Because there have been a lot of iterations throughout the years. There's Van Helsing. The best werewolves that don't necessarily go along with the original.
I love the Van Helsing's great.
That was good.
Yeah, was that Hugh Jackman?
Yes.
Yeah, that was great.
Kate Beckinsale.
Bro, that movie was that was another one of those horror movies that I seen as a kid.
Yes.
Right, Alien vs Predator, and then also the Van Helsing.
Underworld, by far the best version of vampires and werewolves. Do they go along with any of the original stories? No. Werewolves are not bipedal creatures. They don't walk on two legs. In the original, you look back in the original stories of werewolves, they're people that could turn into a wolf. Sometimes maybe a larger than normal wolf, but a wolf, something on four legs. Hollywood has created the two-legged werewolf, but I would love to see a Royal Rumble type thing, even with the bipedal werewolf versus some monstrous form of vampire, because Edward Cullen isn't going to cut Sparkles isn't going to cut shit in this battle.
What about Jacob?
See, that's what I was going to say.
Jacob
could. Some big ass wolves.
Those
Jacob could.
wolves,
I was like, okay, I can get behind this part of the movie. That's
Yeah.
okay with how the large size. I was like,
Yeah.
It's a big ass wolf.
Twilight fucked a lot of shit, but they did do the werewolves of justice, I think.
yes.
Did you say a matchup? Yeah.
I've been low key thinking about it. I would want Blade to fight the Castlevania version of Dracula, because like that version, like the one he fought in this movie, well, he wasn't really magical. He was just like faster and stronger than most of them were.
He was the alpha.
Yeah, so he was just faster, stronger, can sense shit like top of the line. But like to see like that version of Dracula compete against Blade would be cool, because like I've never seen Blade fight against like magic and stuff like that. So it'll be.
And they're rebooting Blade, aren't they? For Disney Plus. Pretty sure Blade is getting revamped.
They did a TV series that I'll be honest, I just didn't get behind because I was like, that's not Wesley Snipes. I don't want to watch this
Yeah,
garbage.
it ain't Wesley, bro.
And Wesley wants to do it.
Well, see, he kind of cut ties doing that because like the third Blade, he really fucked over the director and shit. Like he's a dick. Like at one point, he see, here's two stories that I read that people who were on set talked about. He one point was refusing to open his eyes for whatever reason. Well, they had to superimpose eyeballs onto him.
What the fuck?
Yeah, he was being petty as fuck.
Yeah.
And then another one was like since I don't know how it came about, but he basically wanted a sex scene with Jessica Biel. So
that was in Trinity, right?
Yes, that's Blade Trinity, the third one. Mm-hmm. He was basically talking about how well endowed he was during the filming of Blade 2.
Dish removed.
Oh my God.
I'll be honest, Blade 2 is by far my favorite one of all the three. Getting to work with a team of vampires that, they've been trained to, where did these guys come from? Oh, we've been training them to do what? Kill you.
I've been scared to rewatch Blade because I vaguely remember it as a kid, but I loved Blade. But I've heard that like if you go back and watch it as an adult, it just doesn't hold up to the same value as it did as a kid.
It doesn't, but when you have that child, but that's the best part about being an adult. We can watch an old kids movie or a movie that we watched as a kid and take us back to good memories. That's why we rewatch stuff.
That nostalgia feeling, bro.
Exactly. That's a psychologically proven thing. Tradition I do for Halloween, I found them on YouTube, old movies that I watched as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're stupid today. You watch them today, you're like, damn, Ian, what the fuck is wrong with you back in the day? Like, look, I loved this as a kid. This was funny when I was a kid back in the day. I pull up cartoon openings for Patrick and Sarah all the time, and they're like, you watch this? I'm like, yeah.
Patty D, he's not here, but he said his favorite Halloween movie was Halloween Town, Disney.
I love Halloween Town. Oh my god, yes. Do you know that the girl who played Marnie Piper is actually married to Cal, the son of Calabar, in Halloween Town 2? They played enemies in the movie, and then they go off and get married. I'm like, damn.
I'll be honest with you,
Twist
Chief,
ending.
I've never seen Halloween Town.
What the hell?
I ain't never seen it, bro. A lot of people talk about it like, dang, that's cool.
It be coming up on Disney. I just never watched it.
You got to. You want to know something that's old that this came out like in late 80s, early 90s. And it actually, I know for a fact the first one, it should still be because it's on Disney Plus, Mr. Boogedy. I know, I'm not even asking if you've seen it. I know y'all ain't seen it, but I love that. That was something that kind of scared me and my brother as a kid, but we loved watching it regardless.
Mr. Boogeyman?
Mr. Boogedy.
Boogedy, okay.
It was basically the Boogeyman, but he's called Mr. Boogedy. I mean, if you just want some like childish thing to even just laugh at me, you need to watch it.
Okay.
Because at the time it was on Disney Plus, but also Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus.
Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary was fucking trippy as fuck. Yeah, there was an actual movie that they made for her one time. Yeah,
I vaguely remember that.
Look, you know what? I watched that movie, and like her story was that she was at a prom, and somehow she got thrown into like a suitcase or like a trunk, and she died in that trunk or whatever. But that movie was creepy as fuck. And as a kid, like, I never did that shit. I still won't do that shit. Got me fucked up.
Man, They used to put your ass in the bathroom and turn the lights on.
No, I ain't doing that shit. That got me fucked
Oh, there are some traditions like that I won't even fuck with.
Nope.
Fuck.
Because they're like, Ian, aren't you brave? I'm like, fuck no, I'm not brave. I'm a pussy, thank you very much.
I ain't dealing with that shit. You got me all the way fucked up.
Man.
It's like, I don't tempt fate. Shit. when me and Patrick went with a bunch of our friends down to New Orleans, something I had suggested was, because they want to do other stuff besides a Comic-Con.
Yeah.
I was like, well, y'all want to do a Haunted New Orleans tour? And they're like, all like, yeah! And then me and Pat, I was low-key dreading it. Then everything, we ended up not doing it.
Yeah.
And later on, when me and Patrick were alone, we're like, no, I got to tell you the truth. I'm glad we aren't doing it. And he goes, oh, fuck yeah, I'm glad we're not doing it either.
Do not fuck with that voodoo shit, dude.
Because my damn luck, I'm respectful around I'd be the one respectful around all the voodoo priestesses' graves and shit. I'm the one being respectful, like, oh, I'm sorry, sir. I'm being chill. I'm the one that brings something back with me that I have no fucking intention. I'm like, fuck.
I wasn't even trying to do that shit, bro. I was just
I
chilling.
was being cool.
I don't fuck with voodoo shit, and I don't fuck with motherfucking mermaids in Haiti. I don't know if you read stories about that shit.
I mean, mermaids in Haiti, no.
People being dragged, like, okay, so...
Okay, well, like sirens. It goes back to ancient Greece.
Pretty
It goes
much.
back to ancient Greece and shit, yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't fuck with that shit. Read some stories from some Haitian stories about...
Anything out of Haiti is fucked up. I'm not stupid. Like, oh my god. That's where voodoo... that was part of where voodoo came from. That's the voodoo... People say New Orleans is the voodoo capital of the world. Guess where it came from? Haiti.
Well, don't go down there fucking with nobody, bro.
Stay on the good side. We didn't bring this up earlier, but another good fucking movie, 13 Ghosts.
Oh my god, I love that movie.
Yes.
I loved going through all the bonus features and reading on all the background of all the ghosts. I'm like, that's fucked up.
That is something they could have like expanded into such a much
that could
bigger
be a
universe.
TV series, like on Hulu or something. They could do 13 episodes, an hour long.
Yeah,
one
yeah.
ghost, and then the 14th episode was a culmination.
I would like to
even
see more
season
ghosts.
2.
I've actually heard a lot about 13 Ghosts.
You've never seen it?
What?
It got Shaggy in it.
It does.
I ain't never seen it. A lot of people say it's flawed though.
It's really good. Moving on to we're at like, hey, that was a good discussion. But moving on, the next topic is real life horror. So first, since we're on the topic of horror movies, what are some horror movies that you could actually see happening?
Saw.
I agree with that.
Motherfucker, somebody crazy enough, they put some motherfuckers in the room. The motherfuckers are crazy, but they like to watch people fight for their lives. So that, I can see some shit like Saw happening.
I can see that too.
I bullshit you not. One time I hung out with some friends. You know, I wasn't really smoking weed at that point, and they were like, "Hey, you want to smoke?" I said, "Okay, sure." We smoke, and they turn on Saw. I was like, "What the fuck is going on, bro?" Literally, it was the first one in the very first scene.
Yeah.
Literally, blood and guts going everywhere. What the fuck is going on?
Hey man, you need to come over one day. Like, get everyone. Come over one day. I got all 8 fucking movies.
Nah, I can't. That shit. I'm gonna tap out the first. Literally, it's. I can't. What is that? What is that genre for? That's It's like Hellraiser. It's like fuck. I don't know, but it's like on the same like playing field as Hellraiser.
Oh, sadomasochism.
Yeah.
Like you get pleasure from pain, like those freaks, the dominatrixes and shit. They like you get hurt, they get a hard on for getting hurt. That's what it is. I've never watched the Hellraiser series. Jesus, I'm like that shit. Like there's a lot of leather in there. I'm like, man, I'm good with that. I'm cool. Pinhead, you're apparently he's the preach. I've watched videos on YouTube about it because I'm curious about it, but I don't want to get into it because. You know, the first 2 it's like every other genre. The first 2 are the best. After that, they just keep making shit to make shit, and it ruins the continuity. It ruins the storyline. It ruins the characters.
It gets to a point where they have to reboot it because they fucked it up so much.
Exactly.
Then another series would be Devil's Rejects. I can see being real.
Never seen it.
What?
That's a Rob Zombie film, so I can see that.
Dude, that shit fall. That shit fall. And I wasn't sure, but did that come from A House of a Thousand Corpses? Like, was that like a sequel to that?
I think it was. I think they're related in some sort of continuity issue. I'm not 100% sure what it is.
I'm not either. But
like a lot of Rob Zombie stuff are in the same universe.
Oh yeah, that's dope. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so like watch A House of a Thousand Corpses. That's good. I watched that one.
That was messed up.
Yeah.
Like the guy from Office being in it, and then him turning into they turn him into a mermaid. Let's just say that. I would give him a big spoiler on it.
Oh fuck yeah.
What are some movies you could see really happening?
I agree with Mikhail. Saw. Honestly, I like movies like 28 Days and 28 Weeks Later.
Oh fuck, boy, them zombies.
Yeah, any zombie movie.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. People want. It's not necessarily a zombie movie. What people don't understand is they think, oh, it's automatically a zombie movie because it kind of goes along with that genre.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing. That's a rage virus, and all it does is block inhibitors. It takes away it creates a primal drive for destruction. Like,
oh yeah, somebody told me about this. It's like, what the fuck is it? Yeah, it's raw aggression.
Yeah,
like the whole entire time.
And see, that goes along great with what's going on with this COVID thing because it's created in a lab. Like, it's sent from Canada to China, and China released it. I know this all. We're not going to get into conspiracy theories here, but this is the truth. This is the proven truth that no one wants to hear. But that's what all it takes is somebody fucking around, like, well, let's see if we can't make this vaccine for AIDS, for instance, but it will release it into the air. Well, when they mess around with at creating that vaccine for whatever, for instance, and mixing it with a form of flu, drives people insane because they release it airborne, and then instead of giving everybody shots, it's airborne disease basically. So everybody's gonna get it one way or another.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That I could see that legitimately happening. Some dumbass not.
Well, you fucking remember in Florida that dude who was eating the face off of.
Well, that was bath salts.
Well, okay, but
that was bath salt. But along the same lines, yes, that it was just a drug took that inhibitor away from him. He probably thought he's eating a T-bone steak. Oh no, he's eating grandma's face or whatever the case may be.
I read a story. This dude smoking PCP. He's blowing it in his dog's face. Both high as fuck on PCP, and the dog's chewing on the leg of the man the whole time. He had no fucking idea.
Oh yeah, well there are cases where guys are high as hell on PCP, and bullets aren't taking this motherfucker down. Like legit cops are unloading mags into these people, and they're not dropping because it turns off something somewhere, and they can keep on coming till you destroy. Like when it comes to zombies, you destroy the brain, you destroy the spinal cord. Unless detrimental destruction of the nervous system is created, nothing will take them down.
That shit crazy. Imagine the group of 50 motherfuckers running towards you like that, bro. What you gonna do? Throw some C4 at the motherfuckers. All you really
better
can
have
do.
a bazooka on your. The horror movie I put down that I could see actually happening, and with how the fucking especially America's going, bro, The Purge.
Oh yes,
definitely.
I'll be honest, I wouldn't go out to commit purges. I would enjoy it because, you've shot my guns, Pat.
Oh yeah. If a motherfucker come up to you trying to
see that would be the luxury of like to stop motherfuckers from doing dumb shit and essentially purging the society of the ignorance, literally.
I'm not gonna lie.
And the evil.
What I never understood with the purge is like everybody's focused on killing. Like, if the purge is real, boy, I'm about to go steal a PS5. PS5, 75-inch. Maybe hit the bank up.
There you go. What they can't do nothing.
Shit, y'all focus on one day. I'm focused on the rest of this year. I'm broke. Still on real life horror. Any scary moments or scary stories that legitimately scared the fuck out of you guys?
Oh, hold on. I gotta think on this because I had some moments. I was like, what the fuck? I've never entangled with ghosts or anything, but I will say there was one time I swear I was not tripping. I watched the Freddy vs. Jason, and I went outside and I swear I heard how his little Freddy I swear I was like what the fuck is that? I said, am I tripping, bro? I started looking around. I was like, I'm going back in the house.
Yeah. You black. You know you're not supposed to investigate.
Well, let me go back outside. Let me go back in the house. My bad.
I would say for me, like a legitimately scary moment was at Walmart. So I don't know if I told you this. I feel like I might have told you this, but so this is why I don't shit in public bathrooms. It's like 6, 7 in the morning. I had to take a shit. I was in layaway. It had to have been before you. It had to have been when Bethany was my boss. Before you were my boss.
Okay.
So I'm in the bathroom taking a shit. And the maintenance man guy, he comes in there and he's cleaning the floor or whatever. And he's like, yo, is anybody in here? I'm like, yeah, I'm in here. Keeps cleaning, doing his job, you know. Next thing I know, I look up and this motherfucker's eyeball is peeping through
was
the
it
door.
Pedophile?
It's the pedophile. It was
Okay.
the pedophile. I was 19, I believe. So.
Oh, you're right, we're about right age for it.
Right. He liked little boys. And I'm a boy. I'm a man now.
At the time.
But I was a boy, and then I was young. So that scared the fuck out of me. And I didn't know. Like, that was before anyone knew that he was a pedophile.
That's crazy. I didn't know that shit either.
Yeah. I chewed his ass out one time because he used... You know how Chuck used to use a tool to take toilet paper out of the toilets and such? I shit you not.
I remember this.
One of our barbecues we had for our My Share bonus. That motherfucker was using the exact same fucking tool that Chuck used to pull stuff out of the nasty ass Walmart fucking toilets. I said, John, what are you doing?
What was he doing?
He was pulling out Cokes from one.
You talking about the clamping
igloo?
thing?
Yes.
Oh my.
From one ice chest to another. I was like, what is wrong with you? Why would you use that? That's been in the toilet. He goes, yeah, but the cold hurts my hand. I was like, I had to be a manager about it, but I was about to say, I don't fucking care if your hand's hurting because of the cold. That's been in the toilet.
I got fucking tears.
I said, do not use that again.
That
That is gross.
That dude is fucking gross.
I went and I told personnel, look, if he comes and complains on me, yeah, I did. I sure as hell did. And I want to let you know that was nasty.
Oh, fuck.
Needless to say, I didn't drink anything out after that. And I made sure Chuck or somebody, and I let them know to clean it after that.
Bro, there's some nasty motherfuckers at Walmart.
Hey,
Some
no,
nasty motherfuckers.
don't get me started. I caught a dude beating his meat in the bathroom. I bullshit you not. His feet was moving. His feet was just moving. I was like, bro.
remember this.
I was like, bro, there's no way this dude is just in there just chilling, taking his shit, shaking his legs. I was like, he beating his meat. I said the cops are on their way. He's like, for what? For what? And
Indecent exposure.
Look, then he literally, like 2 minutes, I swear he finished. 2 or 3 minutes later, 2 or 3 minutes later, he come out the bathroom like, and then went the other way. I was like,
I got a similar story. But first, like, I saw a dude. He was in. Well, I didn't see him, but he was like taking a shit in the bathroom, and I walked in there and I'm pissing and shit. This motherfucker eating deli food, sitting the plate on the bathroom floor. You don't let bathroom air touch your food. Like,
Well, now, I didn't see this. Assistant manager friend of mine I was working overnight, he told me about this.
Was this near layaway?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, this is what I was about. Yes, go ahead.
He told me how he was going in the back men's restroom, so that's why they had to lock it for a while. Mm-hmm. Apparently, a couple went into the men's restroom in the handicap stall and were going at it.
Yeah.
And he walks in there, he goes, and they scramble to put their clothes on. He's out there waiting on them, and they just go about their business shopping like it ain't like, oh, we weren't just in there fucking.
I don't know if this is the same couple, but so it was. I was in layaway when this happened. And it's like 6, 7 in the morning. Like, first of all, the only people up at that time of the hour is like old people and just weird fucking people. And this couple came in, and the first thing they did was go to the family restroom because you can lock the door, but it was locked. So then they went somewhere. I did not see them. I must have stepped away from the counter or something, but I came back, and an employee came out of the female's restroom and was like, I'm pretty sure there's a couple in here fucking. And I was like, I bet you it's the same couple that was trying to go in the family restroom. So they called, I'm not going to say her name, but it starts with an N. They called her, and so she went in there and act like she was using the bathroom, and she saw the guy's shoes, and she was like, she yelled out, this is the women's restroom. And he was like, oh, I didn't know. And so he finished up and he walked out. Well, there's still another fucking body in there. And so she's standing outside waiting for the person to come out. She finally comes out after like 10, 20 minutes, and the manager was like, were you with that guy in there? And she was like, well, what guy are you talking about? I'm just here buying Candyland for my daughter. And that was the end of that. But there's some weird people at Walmart, bro.
I mean, I can understand when the urge arises, but I haven't gonna have enough courtesy to my girl. I ain't gonna bang you on the nasty ass Walmart bathroom floor like Jesus. You're gonna get AIDS just from touching that damn floor.
Oh fuck. Any scary moments that has happened in your life, Ian Tomas?
I've never had anything specifically scary. Like, I've had, real incidences that have happened to me. The scariest I can honestly... because I've been mugged in the Walmart... Or they attempted to mug me in the Walmart parking lot. Talked my way out of that.
Fuck.
Yeah.
How you talk a way out of a mugging?
I told them all... I gave them all the reasons why this is a stupid fucking idea. And they were like, shit. He's not... you don't make it easy for him.
Yeah.
It's like a girl, whenever she's about to be... If she can, don't yell, rape, because no one's going to fucking respond to it. You yell fire, and then everybody's like, oh shit, where? It's fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
But you make it harder for them, and they will, in any case, you make it harder for them, the chances of them wanting to keep on going with it is going to drop dramatically. Because I told them no. And then I started going off, telling them every reason why it's stupid for you to do this right now. But then they threatened me, so I was like, okay, well, I got family, I got friends that work here. I was like, I got friends, family that shop here. I was like, I got to protect them. So I got on the phone with the police right as soon as they walked away, and I jumped in the car, and I followed them down dead end Buena Vista at the time.
Damn. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the cops had them arrested and everything.
They was about to go on the T-shirt.
But the scariest thing I could tell you, because it freaked me out, because this is the first like real supernatural thing I could say happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
I came home one night, and I'll be tired, and I'll just sit there and watch shit on the TV, and I'll go to sleep right there on the couch. I didn't care. My family didn't care either. I just slept where I wanted.
Yeah.
Well, I hear this noise, and I'm like, I look up, and the TV's going. I'm like, I've seen this episode. That music's not off there. I get up, and I go to where my mom keeps her laptop, because she would put music on iPods for her kids in her classes. That was off. Her because I opened it and I pressed buttons. No, this laptop's off. There's an armoire right there in the dining room, and I'm looking. And I bring my head up to it closer. I'm like, why is there music coming out of this? I open it up and I find it. It's this old school, like makeup powder music box. And I was like, oh god, it's coming from this. So I stop it. I gently place it down back in the armoire. I shut it, and I run back in the living room, and I yell at my dog, Ruby. And she's a little miniature pinscher.
Yeah.
I was like, get your ass in here. You gotta protect me, damn it.
Yeah, because they see shit you don't see.
She got up on the couch with me. I was like, you stay your ass here all night, girl. And I woke up the next morning. I was telling my mom about it, and she starts laughing. I'm like, what's so funny? She goes, Ian, I was showing that to a friend of mine yesterday. I thought it stopped. I was like, no, Mom, it didn't stop at all. She goes,
it's still going.
Ian, it stopped when I stopped it. I mean, she goes, that's your great-grandmother's. I was like, look, Mom, I love you. I was about to punt that damn thing out the patio window, because I'm like, I've told everybody there ain't no dead bodies. Nobody's committed murder here. My grandfather built this house. We're not on some Indian burial ground bullshit. Mm-hmm. She goes, Ian, your great-grandma could have been saying hi. Then she needs to show herself to me.
Show yourself!
Like, hey, baby boy, you really don't recognize me, but I'm your grandpa.
The power of Christ.
Like, let me know you are not some evil entity like Annabelle bullshit. Because I'm going to be like, Jesus, I'm going to get on the phone with I'm going to wake my preacher up. Like, you need to get your ass over here now.
Come on,
we're going to have a massive exorcism going on now.
Spooky. I didn't even think about this, but a spooky story. So Maddie's grandparents, they live in this big ass house. So it's her grandma and the guy that her grandma married. So not her actual grandpa.
Yeah.
Well, his wife passed away. She used to live in the house. And so one thing is he always smells her perfume randomly. And there's a lot of stories with older people saying that they always smell their deceased spouse's perfume or cologne. That's not the crazy part. The crazy part is before she passed away, she was always worried about feeding the dogs. Well, she's gone now. Dog food was always ending up in weird places. And so at first they thought someone was just playing a trick on them, like the kids, or they thought me or Maddie was playing tricks, or like it'd be dog food on top of the fridge. It'd be dog food like on the counter, like just a little bit. And so they started locking the dog food up, and it was still ending up in places. And then they said it would end up in places that had no idea like how it got there. And I think one of the places was like in the sewing machine. Like how did it get in, you know? So that was like weird. Well, everyone's out of town one day. It's just me in this house. And I know about the situation, so I'm already spooked and shit. I got all the dogs in the bedroom with me. I'm fucking hearing shit all throughout the night. Like the water tank in there is going like just clinking throughout the night. I thought I heard footsteps walking in the house and shit. Like I was not coming out that room. The dogs were aware too. They were perked up. I'm like, doors locked. I'm under the covers. I'm not coming out. This was like a year ago. I was a grown ass man, scared as fuck.
That's why I keep the TV running, because I'm like, I can't hear it. It can't scare the fuck out of me. I don't hear it. I don't know it. Can't do shit to me. I'd rather die in my sleep or die not knowing it's coming.
Exactly. Continue on to real life horror. You wanted to talk about personal fears. So what is your synopsis on how diverse fear can be, the perception of false danger versus real danger, example of false fear, being fear of the darkness or being alone, things that can't hurt you versus real fear of snakes, fear of, I don't know, fucking gorillas, Harambe.
Hey, bro.
You don't ever fear Harambe. You feel sorry for Harambe.
You're right.
It's bullshit that happened to him because that shitty ass mama.
You're right. R.I.P. my dog. That's my dog. But no, what's you, Ian Tumas, your synopsis on fear?
I've always, and I had to clarify this. I don't fear the dark. I fear what could be in it.
I feel that.
Because you don't know. Because that's the one thing, one of the best werewolf movies ever. It's called Dog Soldiers. And one of the smartest things it's a pack of werewolves versus a small group of Irish special forces. Mm-hmm. And it's a really good movie. Like, it's a movie that came out over in the United Kingdom. I don't remember how I saw it, but I fell in love with it. And I have it on Blu-ray and such now. It's a great film. If y'all ever want to watch it, you need to let me know. It's on Amazon Prime, too.
I don't got that shit.
Cheap ass.
I got Hulu and Netflix.
But something else said, they took out the wolf pack took out the generator, so they didn't have lights anymore. Mm-hmm. And why'd they take out the lights? And somebody said, because they can see in it. And another person said, and you fear it. It's not the dark that scares me, it's what the hell could be in there.
That's true, because, I mean, even in our area, we got fucking panthers and mountain lions and shit, like...
Bears, bobcats.
I'll fuck a bear up. Got the glizzy.
Dude.
And then there are other things, like you're talking about illegitimate fears. I had it in my head. Just something stupid, like...
I saw, like, this is a real fear. Fucking someone fears the color purple.
Yeah, ridiculous stuff like that. It's like, where does this even come into effect? Like, I have a legitimate fear of that, because I'll be out, like, one night, I was walking in between my mom's house and my house. We live very short distance away. Mm-hmm.
Y'all on the same property, right?
Yes, we live on the same plot of land, me and most of my family do. Well, it's dark out, but there's still lights, so I can see. I don't really need to carry around a flashlight. At the time, I didn't think I needed to carry around my Glock either. But I'm walking, I see out of my periphery some weird-ass thing. I was like, oh, fuck. I was about to run into my house, grab my Glock, and come back out, because we've had issues where people, like...
Oh, shit.
Come out. We've seen them on our security cameras. One woman opened up my front door and shut it, but never came in. And I was asleep in my fucking house.
Shit, that might have been a ghost.
No, it wasn't, because this bitch went and opened my mom's cat house, let out all her cats. People stealing. Like, when my grandfather was alive, mm-hmm. These assholes, within a time span of maybe 3 hours, because I came home super late, stole his ATV out of his driveway within 3 hours. Because then, when he woke up, he called my mom, and my mom came woke me up. Ian, was Grandpa's jitney there whenever you came in? I was like, Yeah, she goes, oh my God, somebody stole it. I set up stark straight, and I told the sheriff, I was like, no, that was there at so-and-so times. I just came home from my girlfriend's house. I was off the next day. I was hanging out with her, so I didn't need to be home at any time.
And that's crazy, like, how short of a time, like, you could have been in the wrong place at the wrong time, almost.
Well, see, what's scary was, sometimes the floodlights, I could, like, if they'll read out to the highway right there by my house, but when I was pulling up, it doesn't always do it. When I was pulling up, those lights were on, so I was like, what? I was like, fuck, I did miss them. And that scared the shit, like I said, it's kind of scared the shit out of me. But now, I'm armed to the teeth. It's like, man, you know that lock's on that door to protect you, not me, right?
Yeah, because, like I said earlier, you gonna end up on a t-shirt, buckaroo.
Don't come in here.
But...
Don't come in here.
Don't come in here.
And honestly, in this day and age, there's too many crazies out there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like,
I
have a friend who still works at Walmart. Somebody came and tried to accost her in the parking lot at Walmart because she got there earlier than I did.
She working in sporting goods?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
No, but then there's a woman raped in broad daylight whenever Jose's was in the mall. When the mall was still somewhat open.
Yeah, yeah. Now it's like 3 stores.
And then that one dumbass committed an armed robbery with a BB gun at the Village Walmart.
You saw a BB? It was one of the metal ones, probably.
From Walmart.
Oh, this was recent.
This was like last week.
Did you see last week the man who what did he do? It's like a 40-year-old man stabbed his parents.
Oh yeah,
shit, I saw where yesterday I saw where a woman stabbed her boyfriend, ex-boyfriend.
Oh yeah.
And then another one, some guy shot another guy off a Prospect the other day. I was like, good God.
Yeah. This has been a crazy fucking week. This all been happening.
I'm glad I got my Glock with my concealed carry with hollow points in there. He's like,
You going on a t-shirt?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that shit's you don't know like you said, what's in the darkness. You don't know like your neighbors and shit. Like you just don't know people, man.
That's why I feel like the ultimate fear is the unknown. The unknown is the ultimate fear.
Exactly.
That's what you can't stop it because you don't know.
Yeah, like for me, my personal fear, I got fear of death down here, and it's not like dying in general, but like how I will die, dying too soon, what happens after I die. And I always do like. Fucking America, I always fear being caught in a mass shooting. Like, especially at Walmart, especially when that shooting happened in Walmart. I stay, like, head spinning.
Hey, look, I promise you, every Walmart worker, all the time.
All the time.
Oh, looking.
Especially when I'm up there by, like, stocking apples and shit right by the door. Like, I see someone coming with an AR. I'm diving. I'm out of here.
It's crazy, bro.
Another fear I got is fear of failure. As a rap artist.
Look, I see failure as a potential to grow. That's all it is. You gotta let humility teach you. A lot of people don't like to get humiliated, but I don't mind it. It's whatever.
It happens to all of us.
Yup. So,
y'all got any personal fears? You've Ian with fear of what's in the darkness. Okay.
Mine's the unknown.
The unknown.
Literally the unknown. Literally, like I said, you could literally just go home one night. You don't know, somebody could be in your house chilling, waiting on you.
Deadass?
Just be like, damn, alright, okay, that's how you really feel.
You be in the kitchen eating a Hot Pocket, getting ready to sit down on the couch, somebody come whack your ass.
Hey, that's why I got my dog in the house with me. She gonna hear him before I do. And by that time...
Your dog don't play.
Yup. No, at nighttime, she'll just be shit. Like, in the daytime, she don't bark at that. As soon as nightfall, barking everything. So, no, I love it. Whatever.
I will add something to mine.
Yeah.
That dying alone. I think that's everybody's greatest fear.
I can feel that.
I can see that.
What can you do?
I mean,
you can't say nothing to nobody. You can't.
It's like if you living a long life, like it has its perks. But imagine like you're 90, like your parents are gone, your siblings are probably gone, your kids may be gone. You dying alone,
or they've moved halfway across the country. Right. They can't just at a whim be there.
Yeah.
As much as I fear dying, fearing a long life, for that reason.
Yeah.
So it's Halloween season. Finally gonna get to the topic of discussion. Halloween costumes to steer clear of. Obviously anything. Actually, I'll let you guys go.
Look, I don't. like, does cowboys and is Indian costume still out of it? Like, can people still dress up as Native
I think
Americans?
anybody does that anymore. I think he's all sexy and
Like Native American princesses and Cleopatra, shit like that.
I've seen a lot of Greek stuff. I've not even seen Cleopatra in a minute, honestly. I've not seen any cowboys or Native American stuff, honestly, personally, but I don't go shopping for that stuff anymore.
Oh, you mean like if they sell it in the store?
Yeah.
That's true. I don't pay attention though.
I mean, because who's played, Cowboys and Indians? When was the last time anybody's legitimately played that? That was something you saw in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the Gene Wilder version. Like,
yeah.
That was what, 30 years ago almost.
Damn. That's when you was 4.
Roughly. I guesstimate on the age because it's been a minute, like at least a couple of decades in there.
I think anything that's culturally appropriating is off limits.
I have a funny story to that. Me and my older brother, we were clearing out an old storage building we had on our property. Like, had a bunch of his old, like, 1970s Star Wars figures and such in it.
Mm-hmm.
We had old stuff that when from he was a kid, like, there was a old just rabbit. It wasn't even necessarily like Roger Rabbit or even Bugs Bunny, but it was a rabbit costume, and it said "fully flame retard."
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't saying like, you know, the bad connotation behind the word, but flame retardant, which means it probably had asbestos in it, not to.
Oh.
But it said flame retard. I was like, whoa. But then we found another mask. And I was like, oh my God. And he goes, what? And I was like, this. And I showed it to him. He goes, what? That's a sumo wrestler. I was like, Neil, this is red. This isn't pink. It was an old school Native American.
Like a redskin?
Redskin.
Yeah. Face mask. And it's like, I said, Neil, this is war paint. Because back in the day, there was no chill among nobody.
Yeah.
Like, when my older brother probably had this, or if it was even his, was like the 70s and 60s type stuff. I mean, if it was in there before him, it was the 60s. If it was in there when he was there, it was during the 70s.
Peak racism in America.
Roughly. Yeah.
I think a big fucking no, and this still goes on to this day. So you could dress up as like anyone you want to, like celebrity, any person of history, whatever. But if they are a person of color, you do not have to paint your face black to depict that you are that person. People are still doing it. This shit happened a couple years ago in UCA college. It was on the news, and it was like 2017, 2018.
Well, remember that one, I can't remember who it was. There's a politician who was in, I want to say he wanted to run for president at one time. Crud, I can't remember who it was. There's a picture of him at a Halloween party. He painted himself in blackface. And I was like, oh my God. Yeah. Needless to say, he didn't win the presidential election or any kind of election as far as I know, but it was like, what the hell? Why do you think it's appropriate in any way, shape, or form?
It's not. It's not. Like, you can, there's other clever ways to depict that you're someone without painting your face black.
I could dress in a red leather coat with white glove, skinny jeans, and black shoes. Jackson. Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't need I might put on a wig, you know, this little Jerry curls.
Yeah.
Might do something like that.
That's fine.
That's about it. That's as close to appropriation I'll take it. Yeah. But I'm not going to even. I don't know if he was necessarily how dark he was when he did that.
He was. That was when he was light skinned.
Not
white, but
yeah, I wouldn't go that far. I was like, that's.
The only colored type of face that is okay is orange face, and that's if you be Donald Trump. That's the only. But even then, like fucking Jenna Marbles.
You orange face, they don't know if you're Donald Trump or an orangutan.
Or a fucking or Jersey Shore.
I'd probably go for Jersey Shore, honestly, before I do an orangutan.
But like Jenna Marbles, like she recently quit YouTube because she used to tan so much where she was like legitimately orange, like spray tan shit, and people compared it to blackface, and even, I mean, it wasn't, but
that's not an appropriate comparison.
No,
because there's not like. Is she an Oompa Loompa? Or Oompa Loompas real and I just haven't been told this?
They were orange, weren't they?
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I kind of try to pride myself on my intelligence, but I'm like, when did we discover Oompa Loompas?
Some things people reach for, but
that's a heavy reach and stuff like that.
Some things are definitely, don't do blackface. Don't do that shit. Another one, a big one is terrorists. Fucking a couple years back, Chris Brown went as him and a group of friends went as terrorists for Halloween, but the way they depicted themselves were Muslim, long beards with the turban, and that's basically saying every Muslim person is a terrorist. So it's not funny.
And
Don't
to be
do
fair,
that shit.
too, not all Muslims wear turbans. That's a certain offshoot. I don't want to say offshoot, but a different sect called Sikh. Sikh. They're, as far as I know, I've never heard of any Sikh terrorists.
I'm
probably not saying the word appropriately, but like
it's like SIK with the little. I mean, it's SIC with those little squiggly at the top. Yes.
But I'm like,
the main terrorists I know of are here in America, and they're white.
now they are, yeah.
Yeah.
I seen it. It was they had some slaves. There were people dressed up as slaves. I was like, bro.
Yeah, that's
why. Why is it funny? Do you like this? What is so funny to you about this?
anything that hurts a demographic. Like, don't do that shit.
Yeah.
And then, and this doesn't bother me, but I'm sure it bothers some people. Like going back to Cleopatra, like I don't see the big, deal with that. But I understand because Cleopatra was from Africa, from Egypt, which is in Africa. She was dark skinned, black, and
hold up.
No, am I wrong?
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to. I'm trying to put a historical basis on this. Cleopatra was of the Ptolemy dynasty. Egypt was ruled by Greeks for a long time. The Ptolemaic dynasty. She was Greek. So you could say she's yellow.
Yeah, there's
Greek.
some pictures of her, and she was like fairly fair.
Yeah. I just saw when I was doing my research, it was like a big no-no. It was Cleopatra, and I don't get that.
Well, see, they're people think they're intelligent, but I'm not disparaging what you're saying. Yeah. But a lot of them, like for instance, like Jesus Christ, everybody's like, well, why is Jesus Christ white when he's actually looks more like what you see, dark skin, like Israelis,
yeah, Pakistan.
Middle Eastern. He's more dark than he looks like me.
I mean, they're under the sun. So.
Exactly. Well, Cleopatra was part of the Greek rulers of Egypt because a lot of the gods and goddesses we know, they are actually a form of mix of Greek and Roman gods and goddesses. That's part of the thing the Romans did and Greeks did was, hey, if you willingly come under our rule, we'll let you keep your stuff, basically. If not, we're going to destroy all your temples, we're going to destroy your gods, we're going to destroy your goddesses. You won't have shit that was your culture anymore.
That's what I like. Like, back in the day, well, I don't know if it was for, like, every culture, but it seems like, I guess unless you're Hitler, if you took over a place, you were nice enough to let them keep their...
Well, that's what a lot of the armies in the Bible did. Like, they would say the same thing. If we don't have to fight you, we'll let you keep your stuff, but you still have to worship our gods and goddesses as well. But
yeah, like I know the Romans, they like tried to rewrite Greek history and really steal from them and change everything.
Well, there's a lot more into it on that, and we'd have to go into a whole other podcast on, honestly.
We may do it one day.
But like Cleopatra, yes, she may have been darker skinned, but she was, for lack of a better term, white.
Maybe it's a culture thing.
It is, and like I said, the internet, people think they're intelligent now.
Maybe
because as long as they think that there's intelligence there when there's not. They don't do any true research.
But Google there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and okay, well I read that off of Wikipedia. It's like, I can make my own Wikipedia page and say whatever I want, and guess what? This is true versus that's true. It's like, wait, what?
I think as long as you're not depicting yourself as a group of people who have been enslaved,
subjectified,
murdered, going back to natives, black people, and even Jews.
Yeah. Well, see, Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman, people are talking shit about her because they are giving her the role of Cleopatra. And as soon as they said that, all that came out was, oh, Cleopatra's from Africa. She's darker skinned than that. And it just all went on tangent.
Yeah.
it's like, yes, there are some movies that they whitewash.
And most of history.
Gods of Egypt. There are several movies that they whitewashed the cast when it shouldn't have been done, but they did it. Because they're not being culturally appropriate.
I think the funniest movie that like addressed that very issue was Tropical Thunder. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yeah.
That movie is so great.
What do you mean, you people?
It's funny because like
it's the internet. They try to bully Robert Downey Jr. They like missed the whole point of that movie.
I thought that shit was funny.
That was hilarious.
That shit was hilarious.
Have you seen the meme where Thanos Thanos takes the it's like when he's fighting Iron Man in Endgame or whatever, and then he says something, and then it showed Robert Downey Jr. as
I know. I mean,
Tropical Thunder.
Yeah.
He said, "I'm tired of you people," and he's like, "What do you mean, you people?" It says
Thanos canceled.
This shit's hilarious.
Are there any great Halloween costumes you guys have seen throughout the years? I got a whole fucking list.
I seen Oogie Boogie one time. It was
Oogie
pretty
Boogie?
good. Pretty good.
Ooh,
Oogie
okay.
Boogie.
Not necessarily Halloween costumes, but I used to go to a lot of Comic Cons.
Yeah.
I've seen some good cosplay. Like I've seen Rufio.
We can mix that in with Halloween costumes.
I've seen Rufio. I've only seen him once. And
Saw Ramona at not SpaCon. What was it? It
Oh,
was
Ramona
something-
Flowers?
Yeah, it was.
Oh.
It was great. It was around Halloween time though, so I kind of went with that.
I saw somebody. He looked like a chunky Tony Stark. I am not even fucking kidding about that. He was like, Tony Stark had a few too many cheeseburgers.
I'm an art major, so anything like artistic wise, so like Bob Ross, Renaissance artists, Frida, Van Gogh, or any paintings that's come to life, like when people bring Mona Lisa to life, or Starry Night, American Gothic. I love shit like that.
I've yet to see anything good like that.
It's hard, I think, but artistic people are the most creative, or one of the most creative people. So if anyone can pull it off, Oscar the Grouch. I've seen someone use their dog, like they walk around with a trash can and their dog with Oscar. It's a pretty good one. Sims characters. I saw like they had the green diamond or whatever it is above their head, and then they had like a costume on that looked like they had no clothes on. It was like the naked censorship. It was pretty good.
Me and my ex, we went trick-or-treating with my niece when she was a little girl over near the Eastgate community.
Okay.
We don't live over there, but the good candy's
The
over
good-
there.
the full candy
we,
bars.
we went over there, and I was
King size Kit Kat bars.
I was like 19 or so, and I'm like, I was wearing my Han Solo costume. Guess he still got candy. This guy. So thank God for the clean face, because I was actually able to get some candy. We actually saw a guy. I can't remember what his daughter was dressed as, but he was dressed as Michael Myers, and we were like, "This is kind of freaky. I don't know if we should." I'm kind of worried.
See that's I love that, like that instance. Whenever you're trick or treating and you see someone dressed up like in some legitimately scary.
You don't know whether.
Is he for real or is he like I seen this one kid scream. I was getting some kind of what the fuck. Like, these better not shank me.
Yeah, I don't trust nobody dressed as Purge. So, stay away from me.
Yeah, no, that would trigger some people. Most definitely.
See, I'm not gonna lie. If a purge really happened, I'm not saying I would. Like I said, I wouldn't go out to purge, but I think I would thrive in an environment like that because I'd probably be like Punisher.
You're prepared though.
I'd be more like Punisher style because that mean like Patrick would probably follow me around for kicks and shits and giggles because he like, Ian, I can shoot people. I was like, hold on, we're going to shoot bad people.
Yeah.
So we're going to protect our family and friends. So
not me, my ass in the house.
No, you're gonna be at the bank with us too.
Hey,
you're right. You gotta get that money.
You gotta get that
money.
first.
Earlier you said, "Thank God you were clean faced." So I don't even have this in my notes, but that's another like. It doesn't fucking matter. I don't think it should matter if you're like a kid, if you're dressed up, if you're not dressed up. Like if you're, it's good fun. Like
good clean fun, because as long as you're not having something sexually inappropriate around your kids.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Costumes to steer clear of anything that sexualizes minors or children. Like,
yeah,
that's fucking weird. Don't do that shit. Like the sexy schoolgirl and
it's like
distasteful.
Like, if you want to do that, you need to go do that at your frat party where you're rushing something or other. Okay, you need to keep that off the streets.
That's where the blackface was happening at too. Was at the frat party. My 6ix9ine costume I thought was you know.
It was pretty good.
I forgot you was 6'9".
Hey,
Now,
so
who'd you snitch on to get?
man, look.
Who'd you snitch on to make that costume complete?
Look, rodent, dude. So that was the year before, way before he snitched. I went as 6'9", and then the next year he got arrested. I was gonna go as 6'9" again, but this time in an orange costume. And then this year I wanted to go as 6'9", but as a rat. Like I don't think Walmart would let me do that though.
Well, they wouldn't get it.
They wouldn't get it. What are some costumes that are overplayed? So I give a fucking easy example. Like one year, how many fucking Harley Quinns did we see from Suicide Squad?
Dude. It's literally ever since that movie came out, I see Harley Quinn everywhere just regularly. Actually, the other day, it was like 2 or 3 days ago, I was at work. Literally, I bullshit you not. It's fucking Power Ranger. The Green Ranger walks up. He had the whole suit. He had a metal helmet. It wasn't like plastic.
You know what? You got played because that probably was Jason David Frank in his Green Ranger costume. He keeps that shit.
Dude, that shit was crazy, bro. I was like,
he lives down in Florida with his wife and daughter. I was like, oh shit.
I was like, dude, that's crazy. It's legitimate. It was the realest looking Power Ranger shit I've ever seen. I'm like, that nigga out here really doing this shit.
It might be the real thing.
Anything sexy is overplayed, honestly. It's like, keep that in the bedroom or something. Be creative.
And it depends on the environment. If you're at a Halloween party where everyone's probably going to be fucking that night, then...
That's fine.
Yeah.
But if you're going to come to the Eastgate community for candy, we don't really need to see
Yeah, I agree.
We don't need to see the sexy...
Especially with kids around.
Sexy officer's ass hanging out, because then I got to explain to my kids... Okay, look, this feeling you're feeling is normal, but you don't need to know about this until you're 15 at least, okay? Look, so calm down.
I fucking, damn, it was right on the tip of my tongue, talking about the sexy costumes and shit. It'll come back to me.
I think of like the Mean Girls movie where like she went dressed as a zombie bride and then everyone else was like a Playboy bunny or something sexy.
There's very little imagination anymore with stuff like that. Unless you're a cosplayer, because then they're like, I love this anime, let's do this. And they're like, oh, wow, knock it out of the park.
I think it just depends on the environment. You don't want to go with your ass cheeks out with a bunch of kids around.
Yeah, but if, like you said, private party, kids will not be around.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, like a fucking grown man dressed in a fucking diaper. Literally just has a diaper on.
I went to a Halloween party once. Homeboy was dressed as Borat in that
fucking G-strap, the slingshot.
Yeah. I went to a Halloween party with my ex at a friend of ours that we worked with at Walmart. She and some other friends were throwing a Halloween party. The Sexy and You Know What song was on. And he had a trench coat on. Then Sexy and I Know It dropped it. And I was like, ass cheeks out, like, whoa.
Yeah, but those slingshots or something.
Miss me with that pause. 2019, the new Joker, that was overplayed for Halloween.
You know what's funny?
That shit is creepy. I don't give a fuck nobody.
I can't say where I've seen it, but I've seen some one guy with the ha 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 tattoos all over his shoulder, and I'm like, oh my god, really?
The worst Joker?
Well, it's not necessarily worst Joker because
he didn't get a chance.
The multiverse. Yeah. The multiverse.
Hey, he gonna do good in Justice League.
I know he is. They're shooting scenes for that too.
He gonna fuck that shit up. All right,
he about to come back and prove something to these motherfuckers.
Yeah, that's exactly what's gonna happen. Cause he got like what 3 minutes in Suicide Squad
total.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked his look. I thought it was
like I said, he just didn't get enough time to express the character. That's all it was.
And he's just like Shia LaBeouf. He's like really big on
method acting.
Method acting, yeah. Talking about costumes that are overplayed, what are some costumes you think we'll see the most of this year?
COVID.
Obviously, COVID, definitely. We're going to see hazard suits, sanitizer bottles, the actual germ, Corona beers.
Hey, that would actually freak me out if I just seen a whole bunch of motherfuckers walking around in hazmat suits.
I was like, it's going to be like Monsters, Inc. You know, we got 2319! We're at 2319.
I saw a meme. They were like, "We should have called these motherfuckers to handle COVID."
It would have been cleaned up by now.
I think another thing we're gonna see a lot of this year, and I'm already seeing this on my Facebook. People preparing Joe Exotic, Tiger King, and Carol Baskin. Maybe even the Tiger.
I ain't seen that. I ain't seen the Tiger King. Is everybody like?
I had one friend post one yesterday. And I had put this in my notes that's the costume, one of the costumes we've seen. And then I saw her dressed like that. I was like, it already begins. Not even Saturday yet. I think we're gonna see some Trumps and Bidens. We're close to election year. I think the big one this year is gonna be Among Us. The the imposters.
Game.
Really?
I think that's gonna be a big one.
I feel like that's gonna be a majority of them. Literally, that game literally swept Fortnite under the rug.
Oh, Among Us. I was thinking of something totally different. Yeah, I can see that.
They literally swept every game under the rug in like two days. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's my list.
I honestly have nothing I could add to that because they're.
I think COVID-19 and Among Us will be the two biggest ones this year. And with those two costumes, you could be creative. Like with the hazmat suit, you're safe. If done correctly, and then with the Among Us one, you could have the shield, the face shield, or whatever. So, I think we'll see a lot of creative costumes where people are taking the measures of. Well, maybe not here in the South, because.
Bro, I see less. Like you said, less and less people come in fucking Walmart with no face mask. I just be like.
What they do, bro, they wear the mask to get in the door, and as soon as they get past the entrance, they take that bitch off. I had a customer, she literally walked up on me. She had her mask on and everything, and she was like, "Excuse me, sir, is she supposed to have her mask on?" And I was like, "Yep, but I'm not saying nothing to her."
It's like, man, I'm not a manager. I can't. That's why I hate people coming in. They're like, "You're impeding my rights." It's like, Walmart's private property owners. We can refuse you service, and if you don't leave, we can have you arrested.
Just about any business.
They don't understand that. They think, well, I shop here. I have more rights than you do. It's like, no, you don't. You don't have any right to infect my associates with disease.
It's like the motherfuckers that I guess I'll go to Kroger. Take your happy ass
Wow.
on the Kroger.
All right, and then guess what? They're gonna be shut down because everybody's got corona and they can't operate at capacity. So, joke's on you, bitch.
I see a bunch of Texans here, bro. I see Texans here all the time. They don't ever wear masks. That's a whole nother topic of discussion, I suppose. I guess we're about an hour and 45 minutes in, so before we close out the podcast, is there any final thoughts from either of you guys? Any suggestions for people to watch movie-wise, or any games, any scary games? I recommend not Last of Us, fuck that game. Not fuck that game, but Resident Evil 2.
Until Dawn.
Until
Dawn's great, and the same company has a game that's going to come out. That's another.
Another one?
Yeah, it's kind of like the one that they released recently, the Tales of Something, where you can play There's six different characters in the story. 6 different people can play as the characters, and their choices and stuff also affect the story.
It's multiplayer?
Yeah. So stuff like that, I'm like, dang, that's pretty cool. Cause say if they made a slasher version of that game, and
bro, Until Dawn was slept on.
Until Dawn was a really, really good game, and I feel like if they had, if they had a multiplayer, a slasher version of that, you could see people make different choices in the game, and maybe it'll come back and mess you up because of something that they did. So
Butterfly Effect,
that's fall.
I don't like the first Butterfly Effect, honestly. I watched a couple after that. I was like,
They didn't make sense to me.
No, not the movie.
The actual movie? Yeah, no. Butterfly Effect.
I meant the game.
Well,
in the game choices, and Until Dawn, it's the Butterfly Effect.
And I'll be honest, I would suggest, if you want a good werewolf movie, Dog Soldiers. It's different, yes, because it came from the United Kingdom, but here's the thing. They actually did real well on the movie. You don't see a lot of werewolf movies because here's the thing: it costs so much more to do a werewolf than it is to do a vampire. Throw teeth on you, you're a vampire. Exactly. It costs more money, and they want to maximize their profits, so they don't do a lot of werewolf
Especially
movies.
if you do CGI werewolves.
Exactly. So that's why there are several movies where, Game of Thrones, Twilight, and everything, where people are acting and they're repulsed by a broom people are reacting to. But Dog Soldiers, that's one of the greatest werewolf movies. My all-time one I would suggest, even though it's really kiddie, Monster Squad. Everybody needs to see that in their life. Is Monster Squad.
I'm gonna have to watch it.
You're gonna have to watch a lot of shit. Me too, though, because half the movies we talked about today I've never seen. With that being said, my guests today were Ian Tomas. Is there any social media accounts that you want to throw out there for the people to follow, check you out on?
If this blows up, there will be, but right now, no. All I do is troll on Facebook and troll on Instagram. I barely do anything on there. I just sit there and look at everybody's feeds, and I'm like, oh, I like this.
I feel that. My other guest, you know him as Turt Le Fro. I know him as Remote Dick.
Oh my god. I don't think I'll ever live that shit down, bro.
Nope. Any social medias you want to throw out there for the people?
Same as always, go over there on Instagram, hit that follow button. At Faded Loblolly.
Faded Loblolly. I'll put it in the description box if you're listening to this on YouTube. I am your host of another motherfucking podcast, Saved by Paris. You can follow me on Instagram at Saved by Paris, or if you want to check out clips, anything of the sort like that from the podcast, you can find me on Instagram at Podcast by Paris. With that being said, everyone have a safe Halloween. Stay fucking social distance and wear a mask. And as always, see you next week. Have a great one.